I am not here speaking to you as a vendor, okay? That's the old days, when mortgage professionals would come up and talk to you and bring food. That's not who we are. And if you need that, then you'll have to find that elsewhere. And I'm going to be rather direct with you today, if that's okay, because I have a deep passion and love for this company, and am part of the program to get this company off to its next 50 years. So I'm going to be rather direct with you. And I take that risk because you're in our family, and I care about our company, and many people have been here a long time, and they care about it as equally as I do, okay? So I'm going to speak to you as a senior corporate executive in the company today, and that's my position in doing that. So environmentally, obviously, and you know, I'll say one more thing on this, and again, I ask you to digest this because it's said just in the form of total transparency today. We've had this relationship together, this partnership together, and the only difference is a moniker that you proudly carry that says you're an independent contractor, right? Right?
Yep.
Okay. I want to say that's a tax classification. Okay, that's really what that is. It's a tax classification. You all come here and you use corporately paid for facilities. You get your Weichert paid for. You get your E&O and all these other things. And it's a tax classification. So you're technically, you know, we look at you as part of our family, not some outlying independent contractor. So we want to look at this and present this to you in the partnership form that it's meant to be, not from any other perspective. So I just wanted to make sure that you understand at least the position that I'm coming from in this. So environmentally, we have had one of the wildest rides in what I'm going to call the short term, and that short term I'm going to define as the last 3 years. We've all heard about you know, the 17-year cycle, and we've all seen that. And for any of us who have been at this for, you know, multiple decades, it's manifested. Jim has latched on to that. It's not his theory; it's an economic theory. But Jim has latched on to that. What's warm in here? I'm sweating. I do a workout in the morning and then I sweat, and it's like that. You're probably sweating halfway through your day.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take a chance and be vulnerable with you and sweat a little bit, but that's fine.
You're home.
So you know, we probably should have been at the top of that 17-year cycle coming into about 2017 or so. We were just heading into that 17-year cycle. 14 years generally of appreciation, 4 years of slight depreciation in the market before the 17-year cycles again. And it generally has fallen into that for, astonishingly, the last 100 years. That cycle has played out. But what happened in 2019? Obviously, we all are never going to forget that. And so that extended the cycle for probably another couple of years on the upswing. And so that's what we found ourselves in. Well, that world changed materially just about on January 1st of this year. Almost surreal, what we saw happen in the financial markets. And it was almost like a light switch. We instantly saw interest rates starting to exponentially double. We're double from where we were a couple of years ago. Double from where we were. Still a great interest rate, but it doubled. That has an impact. We were talking to people at 2.5, 2 3/4 interest rates, you know, in an environment that was, you know, on fire. And I mean, it was just an unbelievable experience. And then that changed, and it obviously affected the landscape. But there's a lot more going on. Okay, we've got an untenable economic crisis in our country right now. I mean, I'm just not sure how many more things can be on fire at the same time. And I'm not here to have a political debate with you or share with you my political persuasions. I'm sure they're different than yours, but The reality is that this administration has a lot of things that they're dealing with, okay? And they all seem to be on fire at the same time. And so that continues to fuel that. And I think our biggest risks today are inflation. Personally, I think inflation is much higher than the 9.1 that was reported. I don't know about when you go to the grocery store or when your credit card stops at the gas pump at 100 because that's the limit on the pump. I can't put more than $100 into my truck because of the limit on the pump. That's effective on people, and it's starting to affect people's mindset here. We saw 60,000 real estate transactions, in-process transactions, contracts signed, nationwide evaporate in June. 60,000 went away. And they went away because customers going, I don't want that anymore. Maybe it doesn't sound as shiny as it did before. That's just a mindset. That's the media. That's all of the things that are happening, right? None of that scares me. We have plenty of demand out there, but that's what's happening environmentally out there. So, you know, we saw the rates. We're in a market shift. You guys know that already. You're already seeing the traffic at your open houses fall off a little bit. You're already seeing multiple offers wane a little bit. We're already seeing, you know, excessively higher than ask offers waning a little bit. That's just the market. It's natural, okay? But it's an indicator, all right? And we're beginning to see companies fail, okay? We're in the home services business. That's what you need to really start thinking about yourself. You're in the home services business. And I'll tell you why to identify with that, because that's where this industry is going. You've seen what we're doing with our brand, and I'll talk more about that as we go forward. But sellers are way behind. The market's already, ahead of them. So now you're dealing with sellers with unrealistic expectations because of what we told them for the last month, 2 months, 3 months. So all of this has to work itself out in the market. I've been doing this 36 years. I saw the RTC crisis in 1990. I saw the 2008 crisis. I saw the 91 crisis. I mean, I've seen more crises than one should see in an industry, and I'm still standing. Okay, and I'm still standing. And so is our company, by the way. So is our company. And there's a lot to be said for that. So and the final thing I'll say environmentally is there's just excess capacity. And what I mean by that is there are too many real estate agents, too many mortgage people, too many title people in the business. Because for the last 10 years, rates have been not real. They've been artificially stimulated for 10 years. Anybody in real estate or mortgage who has not been in it for more than 10 years has not really seen a full cycle of what our industry and business looks like. And for those of you who have been at this as long or in it, you've seen it. You know it, okay? So that's really environmentally what we have. The other thing that I think you should be alert to is, I know you're beginning to hear debate around bubbles, okay? Maybe even your consumers or you are worried about, is this a return to 2008, 2009? And you never say never, because who would have ever thought COVID? I mean, what a concept in 21st century to have something like that affect us, surreal. So I never say never anymore, but it's a completely different landscape. Firstly, and most importantly, the underlying credit on everything we've done over the past 10 years is pretty much bulletproof. Completely different than prior to 08, when I could walk up to Kelly and say, breathe on this mirror, and if it fogs, I'm gonna give her a loan, okay? None of these crazy 125% loans. That one I never understood. We'll do a loan for 125% of your property value. So primarily, that's where this industry melted down. As soon as liquidity went away, the industry collapsed, and then the underlying credit was exposed. And some of you who were around in 07 or 08, you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you don't believe some of the loans that were being made in those time frames. You wouldn't have lent your own money that way. So That's not happening. Number two, COVID has changed the world forever, period. Look at our campus. We used to have 3 buildings here. We blowing up Johnson Road, building 86 condos, 87 condos there. We're deciding what we're gonna do with 225. There's no one in there anymore. And we're deciding what we're gonna do with this place, okay? I'm sure when Jim saw the lobby and he saw the number ones, that's what convinced him to buy it, you know, because that's his wiring. But
Speaking of
day
water.
2, this happened yesterday.
I know what to do with it already.
This happened yesterday. Well, I was gonna say that our company is so strong and stable and you'll never come and the lights will be turned off, but all right, I'm here to tell you, I'm sorry we brought you all here today and the company is closing. As you can see, we didn't pay our light bill.
That is so funny.
Can we have fun and play in the dark?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, let's pretend like we were having a sleepover.
Oh, I
and
love
play in the
that.
dark.
Thanks, Kelly. Can you
Yeah,
shine?
that's a good
Can you
idea.
shine the light on Eric? Can you shine it up so that we could see him?
There we go.
That Eric.
On Eric.
Oh, that Eric.
That Eric. Yes, thank you.
That's a good idea. I think
I
Yes.
just assume.
yeah, I
That
may
is
have
awesome.
left my phone